Okey Bakassi at 50. How long have you known Okey Bakassi, sir?
Well, I've known OK for as long as I've been in the industry. That's about 19 years now. He was one of those I connected with very early in my career. One of those who accepted me. One of those who, in spite of my newness, so to speak, did not judge me by it, but opened up, especially when I had to direct him. As at the time I came into the industry, OK was already a huge name. He was already a household name. But each time I had him on my set as an actor, he never gave me that attitude. Over time we became friends. Over time we became family friends. OK has more or less become a brother. I find OK very easy to deal with because in him I find several representations of myself. What do I mean by that? OK is someone who considers what we do, that is, those of us who are active players in the comic genre. OK is one of those who consider comedy as very serious business. And that is the way I see comedy. You will never see OK clowning around when there is no camera around. And that's the way I operate. Beyond that, OK is one of the very few who consider comedy as an intellectual business, an intellectual work. You need to experience OK to understand what I'm talking about. OK, I always like to describe as an avant-gardist, a bohemian, a representation of what Bertolt Brecht described as total theater. I celebrate him not just as a colleague but as a friend. I celebrate him as one of those who has given class to the business that I do. I celebrate him because OK has given us a voice, locally and internationally. I think OK's story is not one that can be told in one day.
Okay, you've had it. It's not one that can be told in one day. Sir, as an actor or comedian, do you think, or in the next 5-10 years, do you see an actor or comedian becoming a governor in Nigeria or a president of Nigeria?
Even today it is possible. The only thing that is holding us is that we still do not believe in the power that we wield. It is unfortunate, and we say this almost all the time. It is unfortunate that entertainers do not understand the kind of power that they wield. We saw a sampling of what Banky W did. With just a stroke of luck, the story would have been different today. Today we have Shina Pella at the National Assembly. These are already clear indications of the kind of power that we wield and what we can do with it.
Okay, sir. As the director, probably a producer for the Johnson, if I'm not mistaken, what more should we expect from you?
Oh, well, I am certainly not the producer of the Johnsons. I was the director, because I had only just stepped down 2 months ago after directing the show for 5 years. I just felt that it was time to probably move into other things, probably allow the show to also receive a breath of fresh air, to allow someone else to try something new. That informed my decision to step down. Of course, when you have directed a show as huge as the Johnsons for as long as I did, 5 years, it is only expected that when you eventually do step down, you should be stepping down to step up, to step into bigger things. And that, I can assure you, is happening very soon.
Okay, sir. Finally, as a veteran in the Nollywood industry, your advice for younger ones coming into the field?
My advice is always the same. It's constant. Hard work, discipline, consistency. Rome was not built in a day. Anybody you see today that is... All of these persons are gathered here because of one man. I am sure Okey Bakassi is not the only Nigerian turning 50 today. But for him, all the persons you have seen here are gathered. But he did not just become Okey Bakassi overnight. It took a process of consistency, a process of self-belief, a process of hard work. The kind of job we do is one that is very jealous. You cannot want to be an actor and at the same time you want to be something else. And being an actor demands your whole self, including your soul. So you must give it your all. And once you do that, success is sure. Discipline is something you cannot take away. If Okey Bakassi was some flippant, some lies affair kind of character, I'm sure not many of us want to identify with him. But over time, he has built a brand on the pillars, foundations of discipline, hard work, professionalism, which has attracted both individual and corporate organizations to his brand. So that is always my advice. My name is Charles Inojie. Some call me Mr. Johnson. Others would like to call me them the Russians. But whichever one you choose, I am here to enjoin you, implore you, beg you, advise you, tell you to keep watching Comedy Zone on NAD Television.